Hello, it's Ted Bundy time. Da, 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 da. Here comes Ted. Theodore Robert Bundy, born 24th of May 1946, killed by Old Sparky, the electric chair, on the 24th of January 1989. I don't know why I find that funny, but he was electrocuted, and he needed to be because he killed a lot of people. That was in Florida State Prison. His span of crimes were from 1974 to 1978. The total body count was 30, but the rest he took to his grave. The police officers or the detectives actually believed it was more into the hundreds, but who can say? Excuse me, I've just been eating melon. So, he'd done these murders in seven different states, so he was wanted by 7 different jurisdictions. This guy would just travel around. Once he was found guilty, he was a self-confessed murderer, rapist, and necrophile. Necrophilia. Make it go away from my head. He would often return to the deceased women's bodies and have sex with them. Just in case anybody didn't know what necrophilia was, it's having sex with a deceased person. He would masturbate over the bodies. He would perform sex acts on the bodies, and when they became too decomposed for him to perform anything on them, he kind of just let them rot and didn't even bother to tell the families where they were. So he attended 4 separate universities. He was a very smart guy, was Ted. He was studying law, and at one point he self-represented. I'll go into that further on. So he also helped with Republican conferences. He wanted to run for Congress one day, but obviously it wasn't to be because Ted had an insatiable appetite for murder and rape and necrophilia. So his actual convictions were aggravated kidnapping, burglary, attempted murder, and murder. Why he wasn't found guilty of interfering with a deceased person or a dead body is beyond me. So he was sentenced to death by electrocution. Now, whilst he was in custody, he escaped twice. Like, I couldn't escape from my own house, never mind from jail. So when he was acting as his own attorney, he didn't have to wear shackles or handcuffs because he was his own attorney. So he asked the deputy, can I go and use the law library while they're taking recess? And he said, yes, of course. So he had a sheriff watching him, and the sheriff got sidetracked, or he went for a wee or, whatever, used bathroom break. And Ted jumped out of a 2nd-story window of the courthouse and ran away into the Colorado mountains for 7 days. He did eventually return, though, because he was cold and hungry, and he was recaptured. Now, the second attempt, well, it wasn't an attempt, he did it. So the second escape, he was in jail, and above in the jail cell in the roof, there was like a manhole cover. So he managed to somehow get the master plans to the jail. People speculate it was Carol Ann Boone, his #1 fan who he married in court, that got him the master plans. Also, he had $500 in cash to help him get by when he did escape. So what he did is he stopped eating. He lost 16 kilograms, which is 35 pounds in the US, I think. So he could fit through this little hole. So he put all his books on his bed, then put the sheet on top of the bed. So it looked like, if the jailer walked past it looked like he was asleep. Now apparently he wasn't checked for 24 hours, so they thought those books in that bed was Ted asleep. When in reality he climbed through the hatch in the roof, shimmied all the way down into the jailer's house. The jailer was out for the evening. Like, this guy, he just gets so lucky, does Ted. So Ted gets changed out of his prison jumpsuit into the jailer's clothes and walks straight out the front door. Straight out the front door. Like, who? He, yeah, gotta give it to him. I'm actually liking this guy's ingenuity. Even though he was very, very dangerous, he was very charismatic. When he was out on one of his second escape, he broke into a Chi Omega sorority at a university. Now, he bludgeoned to death one girl and strangled her with nylon stockings that you wear. And the coroner said that her neck was so tight, I can't do it any tighter than that, that she looked like she'd almost been decapitated. And then her roommate, who was in the bed next to her, she was bludgeoned to death till she was unconscious. He then ripped off one of her nipples. I'm presuming he bit it. I don't know. And then he bit into her buttocks really firmly. That was one of the things that convicted him, because they managed to get an imprint of the teeth and they matched Ted's. Because he had some weird teeth down here going on. Anyway, it's by the by. And then he sexually assaulted her with a hairspray can. So, yeah, Ted wasn't well. So he then went into another bedroom with two girls in it, and he bludgeoned them, but he didn't murder them. He thought he did, but he didn't. So, hellfire Ted. So he was recaptured a short time later, and I've said it in my previous guilty. He was found guilty. However, the Florida judge that actually sentenced him to death said, you know, you're a good attorney, Mr. Bundy, and if you would have continued practicing law and not murdering people, it would have been a pleasure to have you working in my courtroom. So it looks like Ted could literally charm a snake. I mean, I can see why, you know, women were attracted to him. He was smart, he was sassy, he was intelligent. He was just a nutty serial killer though. Ted. Old Sparky did his job anyway. Alright, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you all soon. Much love, stay safe. Bye.